Hi everyone, welcome to Board of Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie and this is a triple shot of Tier 5 action. The first game here is the AMX ELC BIS, ELC Biz maybe it's called, and it's been driven today by Staff. Staff was in Hodor Clan, but he's seen the light. He's come over to 1AR where all the action happens, and he's platooned up with his old mate Black Betty. Oh, Black Betty. Bam, bam. Black Betty's in the Rudy, and Staff is in his AMX ELC, the Tier 5 French light tank. At Tier 5, one of the best camouflage tanks in the game, and that's why I got away with firing that shot and not getting lit. You can see Staff has got an interesting loadout in his tank. Of course, he's running a camo net and binoculars to maximise his camouflage rating and view, but he's also running Strong Coffee, the premium consumable for French tanks, which gives 10% extra to all crew skills and perks, including vision and camouflage. And of course, all light tanks have a camouflage bonus, and all French tanks, I think, have a camouflage bonus. They used to anyway. And of course, the standard small repair kit and first aid. Standard rounds in the AMX ELC Biz will do on average 240 hit points of damage for 170 penetration, 248 penetration for the premium rounds, which is APCR if the standard rounds aren't quite enough. Spots the Comet, and of course the thing with the AMX ELC is its gun is absolutely awesome for a light tank. Of course, the turret doesn't go all the way around, and so you sort of sometimes some people play it like a non-turreted tank destroyer, but in this game, Staff's trying to pick up as much spotting damage as he can, and I believe he's trying to 3 mark it. That's why he's running around in this Tier 5. You can see he's already got 1 mark of excellence on the gun barrel, and look, I haven't played this tank for a long time, but he's a very fun tank to play. His teammates, his platoon mate and the rest of his team is starting to capitulate on the western front there though. They're down 1-4 as Staff pulls right back, and I don't know what he's going to try and do here. What's he going to do? I haven't watched this replay. I'm watching it. He was pretty excited to send me this replay, and without giving too much away, it does go for a while, and from the results I've seen, it looks like a pretty tense finish. As Staff looks like he's going to help those heavies on the eastern side, or maybe he's changing his mind. He's just having a look around the mini-map just to see what's happening in the game. Enemy A43 looks like he's about to give the grill a hiding. For a minute I thought that's where Staff was going to go, but the grill gets killed, as does the E2. 1-7 is the score now, and I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably thinking, Stewie, why are you uploading this? Staff's in a Tier 5 light tank. He's up against some Tier 7s. Of course, Tier 5 lights can see Tier 8s, I think. I think they do. Anyway, 2-7's the score. Staff hasn't done a great deal yet. He's probably shaking his head as he's playing this. His platoon mate's gone. Half his team are gone. They're down by 6 tanks. 2-8 is the score. He's trying to implore that Gigabyte to fall back. So wants to encourage the G1R, which I think is a Tier 5 French heavy tank, to come over so we can get some shots in. Okay, 208 hit points into the T29. He does get lit though, possibly by that T3485. In fact, I guarantee it's by that T3485. So he moves back into a position where he's got a little bit more cover. 5-9 the score. 2 of the enemy tanks just got killed. Their team having a little bit of a resurgence. You can see the ARL V39 down back here where the TDs often do. Picks up a kill on... Was that? Oh, sorry about that. I totally missed that. I think it was a Tiger. 7-9 now, 7-10 as that ARL V39 gets taken out. Staff not stuffing around here. He's going straight for the Swedish tank destroyer. Auto aims on it. Puts a shot into his side. Gets around behind him. Of course, the Swedish tank destroyer doesn't have a turret either, so he's going to have a bit of trouble killing Staff in his AMX ELC. He decides there's no danger down there in the water, but I'm pretty sure Staff's going to pick up the kill because he's touched him just before he went into the water, and he did. He picked up the kill, the drown kill on the Tier 6 Swedish tank destroyer. No idea where that shot went into the SU-141, the Tier 7 Russian artillery piece. 8-12 is the score now. That Russian cops a little bit of damage from the Tiger. The OI, all on his own on the eastern side of the map. If you're keeping one eye on the mini-map, you'll see that it really not grouped up very well, these three tanks. Of course, the Tiger did well to get rid of the artillery, but he gets taken out by the M4A3E2. Try saying that after 20 beers. 10-13, so it's 2 versus 5 as Staff waits for his gun to aim. He one-shots the M41 HMC, which I think it's a Tier 5 artillery. It is. And it's clawing it back. He's picked up 3 kills, 760 hit points of damage. I'm not sure if that counts the drowned one. 413 assisted damage. You can see my WN8 counter is giving him a pretty good result already. He was hoping to get a cheeky side shot into that KV-1S, but it wasn't to be, as the OI gets killed on the other side of the map by that M4, the Tier 6 American medium tank, who's got himself 3 kills. Puts a nice side shot into the KV-1S. Does he get lit? He does get lit, but he takes that KV-1S down to 182 hit points. And this might be a night. I would have thought he might have been unlit there. The KV-1S puts a shot into the top of the Tier 5 French light tank, but Staff picks up the kill on the KV-1S. Of course, the KV-1S used to be a Tier 6 heavy tank years and years ago, but now it's a Tier 5 as the Russian heavy line has been adjusted, if you like. 12-14 the score, 1160 damage and a little bit of spotting. It's 1 versus 3 now. It was 1 versus 4 not so long ago, as Staff uses the excellent camo rating of the AMX ELC to get into a bush, make himself invisible. The binoculars and the camo net fire up just in time to spot that PZSFL IVC, the toaster tank. I hope this shot hits. It does, because it's a one shot for kill number 5. And now it's just 1 versus 2. And of course he knows where one of those tanks are, because they're capping. He's on 257 hit points, so he could probably afford to take a shot from either one of those tanks, but not both. I think the Comet does 150 damage a shot, maybe a little bit more. And that M4 probably around about the same. Only one tank capping, so the cap counter is on 1 minute and 10 seconds as he goes for a bit of boosting, a bit of WGL stuff happening here. He's going for a bit of a boost to try and backdoor this tank that's capping out on Serene Coast. You can see it's the American medium tank. Still only 1 cap on the cap circle. He waits for his binoculars to fire up. No, he doesn't. He wants to get himself into a better position where he'll guarantee himself a shot as well as vision on that cap. So he's lighting up that M4 even without his binoculars being activated. Gets back into a bush. This is the right thing to do here. It looks like he knows he's been spotted. He's moving backwards and forwards. There's the reset. Looks like he's double bushed here, so he might remain invisible. He does, as he wills that French gun to reload, because it's just one more shot is all he's going to need. He shoots and he gets it, even though it's not lit. That American medium tank not moving around as much as he probably should have. So now it's a 1 versus 1. Staff's picked himself up a top gun. 1627 hit points of damage. And of course, the Comet on full health, 1150. The Comet lights him. He wants to be careful here. Looks like he snapshots towards the Tier 7 British medium tank. That Comet's shot at him twice. Of course, that Comet has a very fast gun. It might not have big alpha, but it can put out a shot pretty quickly. 148 damage he takes from the Comet, which makes Staff a one shot in this little duel. And of course the Comet on 872 hit points, which would be 3 shots if you're lucky, but probably 4. With only 109 hit points of health up his sleeve, I think Staff's going to... I'd be pretty worried. Of course, looks like the Comet doesn't know where to go to get to where Staff is in this little boost position he's on. Lucky it's only 1 versus 1 here. 645 health left on the Tier 7 British medium tank. And that bloke in the Comet looks like he's just a little bit unsure about how to get up into this boost. And look, I'm the first to admit I take the piss out of people who boost in pubbies, and especially when they do it unsuccessfully. But knowing where to go, I guess, is what's keeping Staff alive here, because if that Comet knew where to go to get up to him, he would just drive up and cop 1 or 2 hits and put one shell into the Tier 5 French light tank, which would send him straight back to the garage and make him pretty angry as well. He's got APCR loaded because he doesn't want to risk bouncing any shots whatsoever. 14 all, 4 and 3/4 minutes left on the clock. I think I just saw a tree fall in the direction that Staff would take if he was to do this climb again. Now he's moving back up the hill, trying to maximise, trying to outvision the Tier 7 British medium tank. 2,382 damage done, and I think he needs to get 2 more shots into him. Auto aims, puts a shot into the back of the Comet. Of course, that Comet's gun was facing entirely the wrong direction, and 1 more shot will be all it needs. Can he do it? Comet clearly unsure about how to get up into this position, and he's been caught out. I'd say he's probably been caught out 2 or 3 times by Staff here. It is AMX ELC Biz, as that Comet tries to work out what the hell this little French thing is doing. Imagine the Comet would have the horsepower and the agility to get up, but you're never going to get up into these positions if you don't know how. Causes a little bit of damage to himself, sliding down the hill. 3.5 minutes left on the clock, and probably confident in thinking that that Comet's going to continue to stuff around up there and work out how he got up there. So Steph doing the right thing here, showing his patience and also moving around to... He'll be hoping that that Comet's gun is probably, you know, pointing around this direction rather than over here, where he's going to try and light him and shoot him from. Spots the Tier 7 British medium tank, but his 6 heads goes off, so he knows that he's spotted as well. Doesn't hang around to try and take the shot. Looks like the Comet's coming straight for him. Zooms out. You can confidently say that once the Comet's unlit, then the ELC would be unlit as well. 2 minutes 45 seconds remaining on the clock. It looks like that time Staff lit the Comet, but didn't get lit himself. And looks like now he does. Now he gets lit, so he puts the buildings between him and the Tier 7 British medium tank. What was that Tier 7 tank? He has got 1 kill already, but Staff drawing him back towards his home base and hoping that one of these bushes is going to do its job. And as long as the Comet gets lit before Staff does, and whilst he's in a bush with his camouflage net, with his strong coffee on, and whatever crew skills he's got, I'm tipping he's got all camouflage skills, you'd imagine he'll see him before the Comet sees him, if that makes sense. Moves across to another bush. The 2-minute siren's gone off, but he only needs to shoot him once. He's done a hell of a job. Remember, that Comet was on 1150 hit points. He was on full health not so long ago, and Staff only took 1 shot for 148 in exchange for getting him down from 1150 down to what he is, 155. And in the end, he gets him. 7 kills. 15-14, not a bad result at all, as we have a very quick look at the post-game battle result. It'll come as no surprise that it was a Ace Tanker Mastery Badge. Of course, he picked up the Bruiser, Duelist, Fire for Effect medal, as well as the Defender for killing that Tier 6 American medium thing to reset the cap earlier on in the game, the High Caliber, and of course the Top Gun. Second page of the post-game battle results. It's an absolute ruffle stomp. 2,940 hit points of damage, 7 kills, a base experience of 1769, which is absolutely enormous. That's not with a double or a premium account multiplier. That's the base score, 1769. Fired 19 shots, 15 hit, 14 of those did damage, 2,940 damage. A little bit of spotting, and that was an ace tanker in the AMX ELC. Made a bit of coin there, even though he was firing premium ammunition with a premium account. And the game went for nearly 14 minutes. Not too bad at all. As we move on to the second game of this triple shot of Tier 5 action, this one comes from Dracothel in 1AR clan, and you might know his name. I think he might have been the commander or an executive officer at ANZAF, and like Staff, he's seen the light and he's come over to 1AR. This is another Rip snorter of a go. This time Dracothel is lucky enough to be in a tier 6 game, not a tier 7 game like Staff was. But that's not going to stop him. You can see Dracothel running strong coffee as well as small repair kit and small med kit. Not stuffing around on airfield. He's going straight up to where all the heavies do their action. Of course, 4 heavy tanks on each side. And Dracothel, not sure what equipment he's running, but he's opted not to go for camouflage nets and binoculars. Look, I'm tipping he might have optics and vents maybe, which combined with the strong coffee would help his view range and enable him to put a nice neat shot into the side of the KV-1, the tier 5 Russian heavy tank. Doesn't get lit. I'm imagining that he has 6th sense in this tank. I haven't seen this. This is the first time I've watched this replay. And Dracothel also got 1 mark of excellence on the tier 5 French light tank. Looking at the mini-map, looks like they're doing a bit of a heavy push down south. The DW2, the STVZ39, a VK3101P and a Chaffee, all pushing around near the water as Dracothel waits for that French gun to aim in. It does take a while to aim in. It's a bit of a dirt gun from that point of view. Like a lot of high alpha long reload guns that do take a little while to aim. Aiming at the DW2 again, the tier 4 heavy tank, puts another shot into him. Looks like the first shot did hit, but of course the tank wasn't lit when he hit him the first time, so it doesn't come up in the damage counter. Auto aims on the VK3001P. What you see, which is a pretty cool name, keeps his camouflage by keeps his camouflage bonus by making the bushes opaque like just then. He spotted the tank, then he backed up, and when they went opaque, it's pretty hard to get spotted unless there's somebody on the other side, but there's nobody on his other side because he knows he's got his teammates right behind him. 2 for the score. He's done 699 hit points of damage plus the shot that was where the tank was unspotted. Just misses. That would have been the kill shot on the German medium tank. Aiming towards the SU-100 now. 3 for the score as that VK3001P gets killed by the Chaffee, but the derp of the KV-2 picks up the kill on the Churchill 7, which of course is a top tier heavy tank in this game. Puts another shell into the SU-100, bringing his damage up to 913. And he'll be looking at trying to pick up some damage on the enemy AMX ELC. No idea where that shot went. I'm not sure if it hit or not. He was auto-aimed, but it looks like either he disappeared just before he fired, or he just totally missed it. It's the danger of auto-aiming when a tank disappears. He gets spotted, probably by those KVs. And he's looking at that KV-2. Needs the gun depression. Puts a shot in, takes him down to 44 hit points as two friendly tanks get taken out by the Rudy and that KV-2. And that little artillery, the FV-304, picks up the kill on the tier 6 Soviet heavy tank with the big dirt gun, the KV-2. Now the enemy tanks are capping. We know a lot of tanks were down here by the water. They've clearly pushed up towards the cap. The Chaffee showing great restraint by not running in, and he's probably waiting till some help arrives. Help such as Dracothel in his AMX ELC BIS, or those tank destroyers which don't look like they're even bothering to go for the reset. Tier 7 Czech medium tank gets lit on 14 health, puts some damage into the Chaffee. He auto aims on it. It's going to take a while to aim properly. Turns the auto aim off and picks up his first kill of the game. 7-9 the score, 1177 damage by Dracothel, and of course he gets lit again, possibly by that M8A1, and it looks like the enemy AMX is trying to really play havoc with these tank destroyers. Dracothel moves up to the cap circle to spot whoever's capping. It looks like it's a DW2 as the Ike tank, the 65-2, gets rid of him. There's still somebody capping, so it looks like it wasn't the DW2. It was the SU-100, which the Ike tank does as well. Picks himself up 2 kills, but gets killed in the process. And now it's a 1 versus 6 situation for Dracothel from 1AR clan. Lucky he's on full health. And look, he's probably, clearly, apart from the enemy AMX ELC, he's probably the quickest tank left running around. So yes, he needs to maximise his advantage of speed against those other tanks. The Rudy, oh look, the IKV 65-2's no slouch. He's found the Rudy. He's picked up the kill on the Rudy. I have no idea how that shot hit, but you'll take it. That's 2 kills. Now it's 1 versus 5, which is a Kolobanov's medal, I think, from memory. Dodges a dead tank. There's the enemy AMX ELC. The Chaffee's chasing him. That enemy AMX will be trying to aim him. Of course, Dracothel will know that the aim time can be a little bit iffy on the French light tank. Unlucky to miss that. That would have been the kill shot of the enemy AMX ELC. So he'll have to try that shot again if he's going to win this game. Still 1 versus 5. 10, 14, 13, 37 hit points of damage. Spins around. Auto aims on the Chaffee. Kills the American tank. Cops that shot for 22 damage. Great use of the handbrake there. Gets behind the Tier 4 tank destroyer. There's still somebody capping. 1 versus 3 now. Remember, it was 1 versus 6 not so long ago. 4 kills, 1508 damage, plus a bit of assisted damage, plus the shot that we didn't see. Dracothel doing exactly the right thing here, maintaining his speed, and wants to make sure he surprises the enemy tank from whichever direction he comes from, changing the direction up each time he goes in for an attack to make the most of his chances, and obviously hope that the enemy tank is aiming in a different direction. Thirsty work when the game's as fast-paced as this one. There's still someone on the cap circle. He drove right past that Ike tank, got lit in the process. Now that IKV 65-2 is on full health, 580 hit points, which that'll be 3 shots to kill him, unless he sets him on fire, or unless the Ike tank inadvertently flips himself. He wants to get rid of this AMX ELC first. AMX ELC's charging him, and waits for the gun to aim, puts in the shot. Kill number 5 confirmed, getting rid of the Tier 5 French light tank, and that'll be the Ike tank again, sitting on the cap. No idea where the M44 is. That, I reckon that was a shot from the Ike tank, not the artillery. There's the Ike tank again. The IKV 65-2 is auto-aimed on the Swedish tank destroyer. Spins around, waits for his gun to aim properly. Gets a shot through the wall. Of course, you can shoot through all those walls. You do lose a bit of penetration, but the Tier 6 Swedish tank destroyer is not known for its armour. As he moves around, try and get a different angle on this tank. He's going to have to shoot him at least 2 more times. He was on 850, remember. I think he just got him down to around about 6, so probably have to shoot him 3 more times to kill him. As I said, he might light him on fire. That would be absolutely awesome. He's on 5 kills, Dracothel. Nearly 2,000 damage. Well, it'll be over 2,000 damage because one of those shots wasn't seen when he landed it. As he starts moving up to, he's going for a cheeky look. Doesn't want to knock anything over. Oh no, it looks like he's aiming his way. No, he's not. Gets around behind him, and this is the right thing to do. Rams him for 7. No, don't do it. He shoots and misses. Turns around, turn. Too many dead tanks are in the way. Rammed him for 3, but killed him for 87. Artillery shoots and misses and tracks him, and of course the new direction indicators in World of Tanks will show which direction that artillery shell came from. That'll help Dracothel from 1AR clan and his AMX ELC Biz, the Tier 5 French light tank. That'll help him find out where he is. That shot looked like it came from the southeast corner, which is not an unusual place for artilleries to kick back and click. 14 all now. Remember, it was 1 versus 6. Now it's 1 versus 1. Can Dracothel pick up the final kill to turn this game around? Give himself Kalabanov's medal for winning 1 versus 5. I'm not sure if there's a different medal for 1 versus 6. If he wins this, we'll find out very, very soon. opting not to reload high explosive. Of course, high explosive could give 320 damage compared to 240. Not sure how many hit points the M44 has. I'm tipping it's more than 240. It's probably more than 320, so he's probably gone with the right choice of ammunition in any case. Searching around, not known for its speed, the M44. I think it's reasonably quick for an artillery, but it's going to be nothing compared to this little French tank. Alright, confident that he's not in that corner. I noticed then he did not have a peek over the water. Sometimes you see artilleries, especially at the end of the game, go towards this water, and when I see it happen, I get angry and think he's trying to drown, but it's a valid spot to hide from tanks, especially light tanks, because the only way the light tank would see you is to proximity spot you, and if they're proximity spotted, then you're going to be you'll be seeing them as well. 14 all the score, 2,257 plus damage as Dracothel rolls over the cap circle. Is he going to be content just to sit and cap this out? Try and draw out the American Tier 6 artillery piece? Of course, that M44 could certainly one-shot him. He's moving around the cap circle. Of course, in artillery mode, you can see whatever gets knocked over if you're zoomed in on the base, which I'm tipping that's what this artillery would do. That sounds like the artillery just fired. 1:10 to go before he caps it out. 3.5 minutes left on the game timer. And of course, because the shell was nowhere near Dracothel in his AMX ELC biz, you don't know where it's come from. Looks like he's aiming down here. Maybe he thinks it's down there, because he did come down here. Turn to look to see where the explosion was. 45 seconds to go. You can see he's tempted. He's tempted to run in for the kill. He's moved to the edge of the cap circle to try and spot the artillery if he is down there where he's aimed. Being sun smart, sitting there in the shade. This time of year, we know the sun can get pretty hot. Artillery shot the same place again. It looks like Dracothel might be content to cap this one out. 10 seconds left on the cap timer. We can see he's tempted. He's tempted to leave the cap circle and go for that last kill. But it looks like no. It looks like he's not going to. In the end, he's capped it out. And a good carry in the end from Dracothel from 1AR clan on airfield in the Tier 5 French. The Tier 5 French light tank. As we have a very quick look at the post-game battle results, he's got a string of medals. Of course, an ace tanker, which is no surprise. Bruiser, Duelist, 5 for effect. The Calabanos medal for winning against 5 or more enemy tanks. Of course, there was 6 of them. The Defender medal for reducing the enemy cap points. High Caliber, Invader, and the Top Gun. Of course, Invader, he capped it out on his own at the end. 2,257 damage, 6 kills, 1399 base experience. And of course, Staff got a lot more base experience because he was in a Tier 7 game. This was a Tier 6 game. And look at that, 100 capture points and 100 defense points. I reckon that looks pretty funny. Made a tidy little profit there at Tier 5. I don't think he needed any premium ammunition, but even though he spent 20,000 credits to resupply that food, he still made 19,344 credits after tax with a premium account. As we move on to the third and final game in this triple shot of Tier 5 action. It's a different tank. I wasn't going to give you 3 games all with the same tank. It might drive you crazy. This is Sub-Zero from Screw Clan. I've never heard of Screw Clan, but I reckon it's a pretty cool clan name. He's in the Panzer 4H. Panzer 4H is a Tier 5 German medium tank. Please tell me it's a medium, not a heavy. No, of course it is. It's a medium tank. It's the one with the side skirts. I remember when these first sort of came out. I don't think it's a premium tank, but the side... There are a couple of premium tanks with side skirts, both German and Russian. But I remember when this one... I remember when they first came out. They look like they offer a little bit more armour protection on the sides, and look, they might when you're side scraping and stuff, but they're nice and flat, so it does give the enemy something nice and easy to shoot at. In this game, he's on highway. He's lucky enough to be top tier, and he's going, even though he's a medium tank, and look, again, I could be wrong, But no, I'm sure there's 3 other heavy tanks on the map. He's definitely a medium tank. What are you talking about? Anyway, he's a medium tank. Not a bad gun. High explosive rounds he's got as his first choice of ammunition. 410 damage if it pans, but the penetration's only 53. Now when you're top tier against, there's some tier 3 and 4 tanks on the enemy side, you might be able to one-shot a few of them. Premium ammunition does 350 damage for 104 penetration, 64 penetration for the standard round. So it's only 11 millimeters less penetration with high explosives. So that's probably why Sub-Zero is running around with high explosive loaded. Trying to convince that Matilda to go back, or maybe it was just a slight change of mind. You can see that Sub-Zero has a mark of excellence on his tank. It looks like 3, but I think the German ones, it's 3 lines is 1 mark of excellence, if that makes sense. If I'm wrong, I'm sure somebody will correct me. 1-0 is the score now. He's got binoculars, so we can try and get a little bit more vision from up here. Looks like he's sitting back for a little bit of a snipe fest on the highway at this stage. Looking at the minimap, Sub-Zero's team looks like they've comprehensively won the 1-2 line, the western flank. Of course, high explosive, if it doesn't penetrate, it'll do a little bit of damage. That's why he only picked up 92 hit points of damage on that KV-1. KV-1, probably the most heavily armoured tank in this game. The tier 5 Russian heavy tank. 2-4's the score. The KV-1 on Sub-Zero's side, who looks like he's just gone straight down the guts through the mini-map, picks up the kill on the AMX 40, the duck tank, quack quack, and now Sub-Zero going in to help the other heavies try and take the city. 3-5 the score. They're down by 2 tanks, but that's nothing to really panic about yet. And it looks like that Panzer 4H, the other Panzer 4H is, looks like he's about to give that Bishop artillery piece a nice surprise on the other end of the map, along with the Electo. Auto aims at the T-44, takes him brings his damage count up to 539, so he must have got a decent amount of damage. Gets another shot into the Panzer 4D, picking up his first kill. Looking at the Type T-34, which I reckon that's Chinese. I'm really not up to date with all my tier 5 tanks, but the Lux picks it up, and looks like that Lux has picked himself up an eye for an eye medal. Looks like he killed the Type T-34 and the Type T-34 killed him at the same time, which is an eye for an eye medal. It's a pretty groovy medal to get. 1 kill, 833 hit points of damage so far for Sub-Zero from Screw Clan, as he's got his sights firmly on that enemy Panzer 4H, who looked like he was up in the air a bit. I don't think he was. I think he's just sitting uncomfortably on a little bit of debris. His gun's reloaded now, but he knows that Panzer 4H is aiming his way. You can see the barrel just over the top of that building. That's why he's zooming out, and he's picking the map, trying to get his teammates to either distract him so he can shoot him, or shoot him while he's distracting him. And it's the form up, so he picks up his second kill, sending the enemy tier 5 German medium tank back to the garage. 8-9 the score. He's done just over 1,000 hit points, but he's got more to do on highway. Looks like the enemy tanks are all back at their base. Those tanks that won the western flank somehow have all been killed. As Sub-Zero just realised the DW2 and the Type 95 have both pushed back towards the heavy, the city. He gets lit, but he picks up a kill on the DW2, which is German. I reckon it might be German. It's a tier 4. Bloody hell, tier 4. I don't even know what they are. But anyway, DW generally stands for Deutsche Welle, which is a German word for... Is it the German word for German? Like as in German language or German food? I don't know. Someone will know. Someone write something on the comments. The Type 95 coming back now, the tier 4 Japanese heavy tank, as Sub-Zero auto aims on him and derps him for 440 health. Derps him back to the garage, makes the scoreboard all even again, and now doing the right thing, going back to base, trying to save his friendly artilleries from that pesky little Lux tank. Of course, the Lux tank is a tier 4 German light tank. It's got the machine gun, and the machine gun, even though it's low alpha, low pen, all that quick firing ammunition that the Lux has could wipe those artillery pieces out, no problems whatsoever. And that's what the Lux looks like he's going to do. So Sub-Zero not stuffing around, moving in towards the German light tank, and boom, no armour whatsoever on the Lux. But I'd be moving if I was that arty. It looks like he is, because he was most certainly spotted, and the enemy artillery would certainly be looking. Then again, the Bishop and the Wispy probably don't have the range if they're down here. The AMX 103 being spotted in the middle, so he'll be distracted by this Matilda. Looks like the Matilda's saying, I've got this shit, I've got this covered. I'm going to go all alone and take on all these artillery pieces, as Sub-Zero gets a shot into the enemy Matilda. And that friendly Matilda will be hoping that he doesn't get derped by the artilleries. Top gun confirmed by Sub-Zero. That's his 6th kill in the Panzer 4H as he aims at those 2 artillery pieces. That one went... No, it didn't go wide. It landed on top of the French one as the Wespy kills the Matilda. Just a big lob shot. It looks like that looked like it was miles away. Maybe the wind caught the shell and it came back to get rid of the French. What was that? That's 8 kills for Sub-Zero. Getting the kill on the Bishop. The Wespy will be thinking, gee, I can't win a trick here. I've sent a Matilda back to the garage, even though I'm a Tier 3. But here comes Sub-Zero looking for his 9th kill. And that's amazing. I've got to get one of these. That is just the loop. That loop just sort of just got lobbed and landed on top of the enemy artillery to derp it all over the place. He spots the Wespy, cops a shot, but he doesn't care because there's kill number 9 on highway from Sub-Zero in his Panzer 4H, the Tier 5 German medium tank. It's a string of medals, of course, the Ace Tanker, Hand of God, Bruiser, Jewel's Fighter Effect, all that kind of crap. But Radley Walters medal, that's the big one. 8 or 9 kills will give you a Radley Walters. And the Pascucci's for killing 3 artilleries. That's always a pretty good feeling when you get rid of 3 clickers in one game. High caliber, and of course the Top Gun. Look at all those tanks that he damaged and killed. He only actually spotted 1, but he damaged and killed plenty. He had an absolute pearler. 2,383 hit points of damage for 9 kills. 1319 base experience. Again, that base experience would have been a lot higher if he wasn't top tier. But that's what happens in World of Tanks. 14 shots fired, 13 hit, 13 penned, even though he was firing high explosive. 2,383 damage. And he even blocked a little bit. Damaged 11 tanks, killed 9. That was enough for an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge. And a handy profit too with a premium account, 42 and a bit. 1,000 credits. Of course, high explosives are not premium rounds in this tank. It's just a bit of a derp. And look at that score. A lot of passengers in that game. 3 zeros, including one of the tanks that was still alive at the end. No, 5 zeros. And only 1 other tank did more than 500 hit points of damage. Pretty piss poor effort from the rest of the team, but an absolute ripper game from Sub-Zero from Screw Clan in his Panzer 4H medium. And also 2 awesome games in the AMX ELC, the light tank, the Tier 5 little Frenchie. Some Ace Tanker Mastery Badge action. Thanks for the replays, lads. Thanks for watching, everyone. Sorry this one was so long, but I'm trying to clean up some old replays. Take care, everyone. See you all next time.